So this is the maiden voyage of my small camper van. I'm still in my local area. I'm near a lake that is a regional recreational park, and I went for a walk in the sunset around the lake. And since this is in my local area, I went scouting for nice spots yesterday, I think, and I found this one. I'm near a bridge, near a river. There is a road, a big road, on a bridge that goes across the river, but I'm on a small road that goes underneath it. And I found this nice, very little bit hidden spot. I mean, if people were looking for me, they would find me here, but I'm not expecting anyone to be looking here for campers. So this is where I put my camper van, and this is where I will be spending the night. So I'm quickly going to show you the area. Maybe you can still see some of it. There is the river, there is a bridge, and the road I'm parked next to. So today I don't have any plans anymore. It's time to sleep, get a good night's rest, and tomorrow I will be going to a new area. I know the general direction I'm going to, but there is no clear set destination, and I think that's the way I'm going to like it most, because I like to explore new areas, just places where I haven't been with my car. I like to try new roads. Some people like to walk in a space and try to find new spots, but walking is limited to a very small area that you get to know. So I really like to go onto the road and just see where I end up. This is also how I found this spot. Okay, this time I was really looking for a spot, but I was also just discovering. So I'm going to a place in my country where I have never been. My plans can still change. If I see an interesting spot, I can stay there. I can deviate from my expected course, and I also can stop early or go beyond the region I was planning to go. So that's all for tomorrow. Besides the long-lasting food I have in my storage underneath my sofa bed, I also took some food with me for just a few days, like some sandwiches, some chips, and I also got some eggs. So with my gas stove, tomorrow morning I can bake some eggs. I got oatmeal, I can make some oatmeal. I got a small blender, so technically I can make an oatmeal shake. I got vanilla sugar, and milk. So I got enough options for the next couple of days. That was a new area I just visited, but I had a good look around. I walked along the one part of the lake, which probably took me almost an hour, and then also almost an hour to get back to the parking lot. But the thing here is there are some activities here, like parkour, climbing parkour in the trees. There is a beach where you're allowed to swim in this lake. All the other places are forbidden. There is the dam that you can visit. There are some small boats, but it seems as though all those things are spread out along the lake, and you can only go from one to the other by walking an hour or by car, and then you still have to find the parking lot that's closest. And second thing is the climbing the climbing parkour between the trees. That's more of an activity to do with friends or family, and right now I'm alone, so those things are fun with other people, but when you're doing those things alone, in my opinion, when you're alone, those things aren't as fun as they would be with somebody else. That's why I'm heading out today to another spot. So I'm going to drive. That's what I like to do alone. Maybe there are a few forests here, so maybe I'm going to walk in the forest or something. But it all depends on the next place I'm going. Let's hope I find something fun. The roads here are curvy and steep ups and downs. So, and you're allowed to drive relatively fast here, so it can be fun. I arrived in the area I wanted to be, and I found a good spot to spend the night. I'm near a busy road, but it's a parking space. I think it's meant to picnic and to have a quick lunch. I also think it's meant for hikers to come here in their car. And there is a hiker's trail here, and also on the other side of the road. There's also a map here and 2 trash cans. So I'm back from my little vacation. As you might have assumed already, since this was my first trip with my van, this also means it was a test, an experiment, to see how my van actually performs in real life situations. I already slept in my van at home multiple times, but this time I was on my own. This trip I experienced and took the time to think about how exactly I want to use this van. So, we already know my van is very small, so I couldn't bring that much things with me, and I can't use a lot of space at a time. When my sofa bed is in bed mode, I can't really use it as a sofa to sit in front of my kitchen, and when it's sofa mode, I can't really sleep on it. Also, after sleeping in my van, I use a sleeping bag, but it has to ventilate a little, so I can't roll it up and put it away immediately after waking up. I need to let it lay there for at least some time. So that means that if I'm eating breakfast in my van, that I can convert my bed into a sofa, but I'm still sitting on my sleeping bag and on my pillow, or next to my pillow, and those things, they take up some space on my sofa that I could really use to temporarily put other things when I'm eating my breakfast. When I fold out the little fold-out table at the back of the van, I can technically cook with only my van, but I learned that when there is a table nearby, like a little picnic table that's empty, it's much better, much easier to use that instead of only the fold-out table of my van and the countertop on the inside of my van. Also, while doing dishes, yeah, I learned that I can't really do dishes inside of my van. I need to move around outside of my van to make it a little bit easier when I'm doing the dishes. There is almost no space left, even though it's nice to be able to cook food, so a real meal with my van. I think I'm not actually going to do that a lot because it takes some time to prepare the food, it takes time to eat your food, and it takes time to do the dishes and clean everything back up. That takes a lot of time and it constrains me to one place. And my idea of using this camper van would be to keep moving. I want to make short and swift stops and get on the road as soon as possible, because that's what I prefer. So I'm probably going to make lunch in advance and quickly eat that, or just find something in the area to buy. I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive. You can buy a sandwich, something like that. That it isn't a big drain on your budget for a weekend trip, and it saves you a lot of trash. Also, I forgot to mention that in the cooking bit. Cooking comes with trash, and like I used canned beans and packaged meat. Things begin to just lay around. I think this van would really be great for day trips. I know it's a van that has a bed inside it, but I think it would be better to do day trips. But if necessary, I can sleep in it. Moving on to my personal debate on what exactly I want to do with my camper van. I always thought it would be fun to go on small trips with my camper van and go to see new places. While that's partly true, I also learned from this trip that, as expected, I like to drive around, but when I'm in a new area, I get bored really quick if there isn't a lot to do. So the place I went, there was a lake and some activities around that lake and in the forest around, and you could freely walk around the forest and walk on the dam. After walking along the lake for quite a bit of time and then scanning the area, seeing what the activities there are, I simply concluded that I can do things also near in my local area in only a 15-minute drive. I also have a lake and similar activities. And I can do similar walks in a forest and similar walks around a lake. I just felt purposeless walking around that lake in a touristic area. You could say I could have tried some of the activities, but those are. I'm really sure I would like to do those things with friends or family, but this time I was alone. I would also feel purposeless if I would do those activities on my own. If you have a good friend or family member, just talking to them is way more fun than doing any of those activities on your own. Going on a vacation without anyone else feels purposeless. I keep wondering why I'm being there. I would even prefer to work instead of going on a vacation on my own. I have two choices. Either I use my spare time, my recreational time, to move around, simply that's it. Whether I use my car or use the train and explore from there, or from now on I take somebody with me. Simply, if I start to connect with more people again, then I might find somebody who likes to do the things that I do. That's my mission right here. I'm going to focus my attention on people instead of places. After I found the right people, maybe I don't even need to go places to have fun. To end off with a quote, the things we do are of lesser importance than the people we do those things with. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.